Hey guys, Aaron Brown here, social media editor with Jalopnik. I'm here with Todd Hill, a carline planning manager with Subaru, to tell us about the brand new, freshly unveiled Subaru S209 STI. What can you tell me about this car? Why is it special?
In terms of the STI models, S models represent the best, the most capable, highest performing STI products that we build. And unfortunately, up to now, those have only been available in Japan. Bringing them to the US has been incredibly difficult. But now with the S209, for the first time, we've been able to bring this model to the United States.
Why is this finally the time to bring the S209 here? What is it about now?
I'm not sure I have the exact answer. It's been very, very difficult. And you know, this car was modified, and all of the S-Series cars were modified in a way that substantially deviated from what the normal production car was, which meant to bring it to the US, it required a full homologation to come over here. And given the low volumes, that has been very difficult.
So what are those changes that required that?
So,
what can you tell me?
in the engine, we fitted forged pistons and connecting rods. We fitted a new air intake, a new exhaust system, larger fuel injectors, higher capacity fuel pump, a host of other things just inside and around the engine to bring the horsepower up to, we're estimating 341. You know, all that stuff affects, you know, performance, also affects emissions and everything, so that necessitates rehomologating the car for the US.
Do you know how much quicker it is than like the Type RA or the base STI?
You know, that's an interesting question. I don't have numbers off the top of my head.
Sure.
It is quicker, for sure. But the focus of this car is really on circuit driving, or you know, on driving on a road course or driving around a track. And there you're going to find it's much, much quicker than the standard STI or the Type RA or any other STI that we've ever offered for sale.
So standing in front of it here, I do see quite a number of more aggressive things. Looks like there's some aero pieces. What's different here? What can you show us?
So everything is driven by function. Okay. So one of the things they wanted to do is they wanted more grip. So we got wider wheels, which are the widest that we've ever put on an STI. And we fitted these tires. These actually tires were developed by Dunlop specifically for this car, for us, which is awesome. They're really, really grippy tires. And so with the wider wheels, the wider tires, now you've got to bring, you know, the wider body, fenders, and at the rear, the wheel arches. And then they fitted the front canards. That's going to help with the downforce at the front to balance out the downforce from the carbon rear wing. And so all of it, you know, all of it's basically designed for handling an aerodynamic function.
Do you have a favorite thing or feature on the S209?
I had a chance to drive the car, and I could just, you know, it just feels so much more capable than the regular model.
Why? How?
You know,
what
it's
is
just
it about
the sum. The STI guys are really detail oriented, and they really focus on every part of the car and every little. You know, they change little nuts and bolts and clips and fasteners and brackets all around the car, and it all seems like little things, but in the end, the difference is really substantial.
Do you think this is finally an STI that your enthusiast buyers will not want to tweak too much?
They will never stop tweaking.
Yeah.
I think if anything, this car might invite them to do more.
So could you show us around the interior real quick? What's different here?
So on the inside, you know, the other S-Series models, STI kind of has a theme. They do some silver accents and silver stitching, and then they bring in the, you know, the cherry blossom red accents on the dash, and then, you know, around on the other side. They've got, down by the shifter, there's a number plate, so these will be serialized as we're bringing a very, very small number of the cars, so it'll be very exclusive.
Do you know how many?
So we haven't set the final number, but it's going to be around 200 cars.
And any idea on pricing? Or?
We haven't set the pricing yet.
More or less than a Type RA?
It would be more. More?
So what else can you show us?
So this car has a feature we haven't had in a while. It has the intercooler water spray.
Oh.
And so, you know, under the trunk, there's an intercooler water spray which will spray water onto the intercooler to cool it off, which will help add a little bit more horsepower. That's something we used to have back in the day with the 04 STI.
Yeah.
It's been gone a while, so we brought that back for this car, and that's activated by paddle switches on the steering wheel.
Wait, before you close this, one other thing I did notice, that little strut brace?
Yes, it's actually not a strut brace. What you're seeing is STI has fitted at the front and at the rear, going across, what they call flexible draw stiffeners. And those will basically tighten up the chassis. It's basically with a spring and a damper, you know, on a rod, and just kind of tightens things up a little bit so the car will respond quicker to inputs. Like, it doesn't have to it's basically kind of pre-stressed.
Sure.
And so they fitted one across the back here, and the bar that you see in the trunk is actually not the draw stiffener, it's a protector. If you look behind it, you can see it's there. You know, in order to prevent it from being damaged when you put luggage in the car, because it's, you know, in the end it's still a Subaru, it can still do everything you want it to do.
Love it.
So you have to keep that part in mind. So that is basically a protector for the draw stiffener.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and awesome car. I love it.